If you're watching this video right now and think it's safe to assume you like to invest, and if you're anything like me, you're thinking about the future and how to become financially free. I know when we think of growing our finances, it's easy to focus on acquiring money through investing in other means of work, but I'm here to tell you that that's not always the case. I know you may be thinking, Tay, like, you're crazy. How can I expand my finances without working to get more money? Well, the answer actually may be more simple than you think. Hey guys, it's Taylor, aka at Priceless if you're tuning in for the first time today. Always sharing some personal financial insights, and today I want to talk about how to save $500 a month with a few easy hacks to keep you on the right track to financial freedom. Now, preface, when I say easy, it gets easier. At first, it may be really difficult because when we get into number one, like cutting out impulse buying, that might be a habitual spending pattern that you have, developed and grown into being. And it's difficult to get rid of those patterns, but I'm gonna help you out today. So if you're excited and you're ready, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel and supports me for creating free videos. And let's just get into it. So number one, like I said, is cutting out impulse buying. To start with today's video, I'm gonna go through some tips and tricks for you to save money daily, weekly, or even monthly. So let's start with the first trick, and that is stop impulse buying. Okay, I know, like I mentioned, it can be really hard to stop yourself from buying that cute shirt or those trendy shoes that are on sale, or heck, even those tickets to see your favorite band. But trust me, if you're in it for the long run and you want to save money, you'll definitely want to start off by trying to cut down on these impulse buys. Since I know this is much easier said than done, here are 3 easy tricks to reduce your impulse spending. Step number 1, be mindful of the way you spend money. The first step is cracking down on your impulse spending and becoming self-aware of your spending urges to take control of your money. You can do this by making a realistic monthly budget to stick to. Now, a budget, if you haven't already started it, will help you curb needless spending by forcing you to make conscious decisions about how you're spending money. That is if you want to stay within your budget for the month. Now, the zero-sum budgeting method is one of the methods you can try out for specifically impulse buying and spending. Now, this method is when your income is equal to your expenses. I know how this sounds, but it doesn't mean you have to spend every penny of your paycheck. It just means that the money that you earn is split into 2 different categories within your budget. This would also include a category, of course, for your savings. Step 2, hold yourself to a waiting rule. Set a rule for yourself that requires you to take some time between purchasing an item impulsively. For instance, anytime you want to buy something that you don't necessarily need or haven't planned, take a step back for 24 hours or even 30 days to decide if it's still a good decision to buy it. Now, for example, the hair that I have done today is I put some effort into this, guy, so if you like it, give it a thumbs up. It is by the Dyson Airwrap, and that shit is it's expensive. And honestly, I wasn't able to get it like right then and there. It was trending on TikTok. It's been sold out for freaking months. So even then, as it's not really trending as much as it used to, I was still very interested in the product. And so this whole method kind of applies to me, realistically giving you a life example. And I don't regret the purchase. I absolutely love it. But a good rule of thumb for deciding how long to actually wait is to know how much of an impact it will make on your budget. Say if the item will make a small impact, then maybe take a shorter amount of time to decide. If the item makes a larger impact on your budget, like for example the Dyson Airwrap that costs $600, take a longer amount of time away from the purchase so you can really get that clarity of, do I actually need this? And in my case, I've been wanting to achieve salon style hair at home for like decades. My hair is super thick, It worked for me. It was really great. All right, step number 3, don't be swayed by sales. I know it's easy to spend money on items that have gone on sale, like you see those red tags, flash sale, especially if it was something that you're interested in purchasing in the past, but it was too expensive, or if it's something you were gonna buy anyway. Don't be tempted. This is like the whole Black Friday consumerism tactics and methodologies. I know how it may feel like you're gonna waste money later if you don't get it while it's on sale, but this is a false belief. This is a common misconception that often pulls people into excessive debt and keeps them away from achieving their financial goals. In a case like this, I would recommend thinking about what you truly value, purchasing an item for your financial goals, and making a set plan on buying things that add value to your life. Don't get roped into a purchase just because you see that red sale sign attached to it. And guys, by the way, there are absolutely amazing auction and consignment houses. If, they're not necessarily sale items, they're used, they're refurbished, they're also good for the environment if you're shopping there because it's recycled. That's personally what I like to shop at, and boy, I get some really good freaking discounts. If you're interested in the ones that I personally shop at, one is Plato's Closet. I'm not sure if they have a website actually, but they might have one in your local area. Check that out. Goodwill is also a really good place. And lastly, one of the more like boutique designer ones in my area when I'm in Florida is True Fashionistas. So make sure to check that out as well. Now, tracking your monthly expenses. A second option to save money monthly would be to keep and look over your monthly expenses. To get your finances in order, you are going to want to keep track of how much money comes in and how much money comes out per month. It's so easy to stay focused on paying bills and, living life that we need to mindlessly pay what is needed without keeping track of how much money we actually have for spending. Now, to accurately account for everything that you're spending, you are going to want to include any extra activities beyond the typical house bills, such as heating or electricity. These extra activities can vary from person to person, so it's best to visualize your finances. I want you to take a look at your bank statements, your credit card statements, any statements that you have, and once you look over those statements, I want you to go ahead and break down those expenses into different categories like bills, utilities, food, or even subscriptions. After you do this, you might be surprised how much you're actually spending on all of these monthly subscriptions. And at this point, if you see that your monthly subscription cost is high, you may want to consider unsubscribing to any that you believe aren't necessary or you don't use anymore. This is an easy way to save money on a monthly basis. Just a fun fact, there was a survey done by Chase that found that 60% of respondents have forgotten about one or more recurrent payments, and about 70% of respondents estimate that they waste $50 a month on services that aren't even used or at least aren't really needed. And I was there. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this video. Remember that Wizard 101 thing that we did like back in the day, like 7, 8, 9 years old, 10, like getting charged all the way up to like 15 years old. I'm so sorry, but that's a primary example of my childhood that we used to play this game called Wizards 101. Comment below if you actually played that too and became a grandmaster like I did. It was one of those subscriptions that we didn't use anymore. I grew out of it. I didn't use anymore. And it just kept on getting charged. And it sounds like those numbers don't sound like a lot, but when you look over your bank statements, keep in mind those monthly services, they add up and you got to get rid of them. So you don't want to be like any one of those poor suckers on that Chase survey. And one of the recommendations that I have and I've used before in the past, not sponsored, but if you want to hit me up, Truebill for the YouTube video. Truebill is an absolutely amazing service. I'll link it down below for you guys. It's really great, especially for checking out that monthly subscriptions that you really don't want anymore, and they'll even cancel them for you if you ask for it. Now, to piggyback off of reviewing your monthly expenses, I would recommend paying close attention to how much you spend eating out. And as random as this may seem, if you are a driver, I would do some research to see if you can get a better deal on car insurance. Some places offer discounts if you take a defensive driving course, so I would definitely suggest looking further into that. For example, when I was in high school and I did driver's ed, my insurance automatically went lower just because I had taken a driver's ed course, and that's still applicable to me today. As for food and eating out, I get it. I love to eat and get boba for myself too from time to time, like every other day. But when it comes to saving, moderation is key. So to save on this type of expense, you could completely cut it out from buying that kind of food from restaurants and start cooking at home. Or if it's a necessity, getting that bubble tea is probably a necessity for me, I would suggest budgeting and keeping that in mind. Now, getting more into that, besides the budgeting, taking advantage of daily specials. For example, if you love sushi, usually there's sushi happy hour, all you can eat sushi in a specific hour. We all know some restaurants offer certain discounts on certain nights, like Taco Tuesday, Margarita Monday. I don't know what's up with the Mexican food, but that's what's on the top of the mind. But if you really want to be able to save that money, you could line up those days. You can go out with friends or order takeout with restaurant specials that you can still order food while also saving some money. Now, thinking about this in mind, when I am a Amex member, I love the Amex card, and every single month they give you a certain amount of credit to go eat at certain places. And so you can utilize the perks of your credit card for being that rewards member and also figure out the specials that way. Now, when you're deciding on what beverage you're going to drink, choose water. Not only is it healthy for you, US water is primarily free, so why not take advantage of a free drink? Plus, it will probably help you take an extra $2 off the meal that you would have been spending on a fruity drink or soda. And at least as of lately, some drinks are tea is like $4 or $5 at restaurants. And get cash back. Now, this tip only applies to somebody who has a credit card, so if that applies to you, I would definitely use that. On top of getting those rewards and actually getting credits to go out to eat, you can get cash back depending on the credit card service you are actually using. So for example, by paying with a cashback credit card, you can get anywhere from 1% to 5% of your money back from the credit card issuer. In some cases, the issuer will just offer you a flat discount rate on everything you buy, but other reward services can offer a higher percentage on purchases in specific categories, which can also include specific restaurants. I'd like to note though, to make sure to double check with your credit card's policy what rewards are eligible for. Typically, these really aren't too many mom and pops, more like franchises. Now, let's get back to that car insurance stuff. Let's face it, insurance can be really expensive, but I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be. So let me help you get on the latest ways to save some money on the car insurance. Just off the bat, if you are a student with good grades, a new driver who has taken a driver's training course, driver's ed, or a member of an affinity group such as a college alumni or other select professional/occupations, you may be eligible for a discount depending on your insurance company's coverage deals. Like I said, I was in high school. I did that driver's ed course. Honestly, there was some kids. It was pretty freaky. I thought we were gonna get in an accident at some point, but I'm here living still today as you're watching this video, so we're good. Now, don't fret if none of those categories apply to you. There are other ways to get discounts on car insurance through anti-theft and safety equipment, or if you hold multiple policies through one holder. For instance, many insurers offer big discounts if you also get a homeowner, renters, or life insurance policies from them as well. This is what I did. I used the same exact homeowners and auto insurance company, so I actually got a better deal when I did the two. And for those of you who are wondering, it's Progressive. Now, this may sound like a pretty great deal. Make sure you calculate the total expenses to ensure that you are getting the best deal out there. It would also be a smart choice to compare and contrast deals from companies with single insurer packages. When I was going through this process, I I went through it once at 1.2 as a first timer, a virgin, and I called up my mom asking her what to do, and she said, call up not just one, but several different insurers, write down the different rates, the coverages that they offer, and look at the different renter's insurance plus auto insurance or homeowner's insurance plus auto insurance, and see what that looks like. They'll typically try to sell you right then and there, but they will actually hold your policy and your policy like quote right in their system, so you can always call back and pick up right where you left off. And this is something that I did, and I would highly recommend to get the best deal. Now, the final way you can reduce your insurance plan costs is through reporting reduced mileage. A major component in auto insurance industry focuses on the miles a car has driven per year. On average, it is estimated that an automobile is driven about 12,000 miles yearly, but if you're driving a lot less than that for some reason, you can cut 5 to 10% off your premium. So I would definitely suggest that you talk to your insurer about this and see if you qualify. One of the questions that I personally got was, do you commute from work? How often are you leaving your house? Is this like a home neighborhood car, or are you commuting a long distance for work travels? I work remotely, so I'm not necessarily using my car a lot, at least now. And so that is just kind of a car. If I need to go to the grocery store a few miles down, then I go to the grocery store. Now that I have given you a handful of tips on how to save money monthly, it's up to you to make a plan and stick to it. Saving money literally starts with you. I can give you as much talk as I want. It's up to you and your conscious choices to reduce mindless spending and utilize any discounts you may be eligible for. And if you liked this video and learned a little something, give me a thumbs up and a like, I think, on this platform, and share. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, where I share some more great financial insights. All right.